Hi everyone, I'm Jackie and we are enjoying life's journey on the path to financial freedom. Welcome to the channel. Welcome back to another paycheck to paycheck budget with me. We're going to be budgeting out my husband's paycheck for April 12th. So my husband does get paid every single Friday, so we create a unique budget for every single paycheck, which is basically every single week, in addition to every single month. And the reason we do that is because, you're going to have some bills that are due not just in the month, but they'll be due alongside with different weeks or different paychecks. So it's really a good way to handle your cash flow, to manage your cash flow. I know a lot of people hear the word budget and they think that it's going to restrain you in some way, that it's going to cut back, and people say, oh, well, I just have exactly enough money. I pay my bills and what's left I am throwing at debt or I'm putting into savings. But really, we should be looking at all the numbers and keeping track of our trends and our habits, our spending habits, and seeing, the overall picture. I used to think that was budgeting back then. I used to say, okay, I covered my bills and what's left is what's left. But we still need to tell what's left where to go. Even if we've decided that everything that's left over is going towards debt or going towards savings, we still need to keep track of how much are we actually paying off or how much are we saving and all of that. So that's the real key. So think of these as your cash flow plan. If you don't have a plan, then you don't really know what you're aiming for. And if you do know what you're aiming for, then we need to measure it. We need to be able to see if we're making progress in the right direction or not. So we're going to jump on the Excel sheet and budget out this week. All right, so if you're not familiar with these videos, my budget videos, my cash flow planning, basically we follow Dave Ramsey's zero-based budgeting method. So we take every single dollar, like I just mentioned, we take every single dollar and we tell it where to go. And it really is a game changer when it comes to not only managing the everyday, day-to-day bills and making sure you have everything covered and it's, before it's due and it's not late, but also so you can reach those finance goals that you're working towards. So we are completely debt-free other than our mortgage. We've been following Dave Ramsey's 7 baby steps, so we are officially on baby steps, basically baby steps 4, 5, and 6, and pretty much 7. Pretty much the rest of the baby steps are done at the same time as each other. So real quick, in case you're not familiar with the baby steps, the first baby step is to get a starter emergency fund of $1,000 put aside. And the goal of this is to do it as fast as you can and to start changing your habits from borrowing money to no longer borrowing money, and to actually see how fast you can get that money put aside. Some people, you might already have more than $1,000 put aside, so that's really great. Some of you, like us, we were extremely low income when we started this journey. We were only making, maybe $30,000 a year. So it took us a while, and we actually did what Dave Ramsey mentioned as well. If you are a lower income, maybe start with $500 instead of $1,000. So that's what we did. The second baby step is the debt snowball. So paying off all of your debt, the consumer debt, not counting your mortgage. So everything other than your mortgage, you're shooting to cover. You basically do the minimum payment on everything except for your lowest debt. And that small debt, or your lowest debt, is what you tackle first. So any extra money that you can spare goes towards that. Now this is really starting to, again, is retraining the way that you're handling money and the way that you look at money. So you're no longer borrowing any more money. You're paying off those things that technically you don't really own because you haven't paid for them yet. You're going to start coming up with other ways to make extra money. So if you are low income, you might say, hey, someone needs to take on a second job. Or like myself, I primarily stay home with my girls. So it was, okay, now I need to get a part-time night job so I could help pay off debt. You also start looking at how to cut costs, and that's what these budgets are going to help you do. It's going to help you see where can you find extra money, or do you really need to earn extra money. And then baby step 3A is to save 3 months minimum of your emergency fund. So basically you started with that $1,000. Now you're going to raise it up to whatever 3 months of your living expenses are. So for us, we're roughly, bare minimum is about $2,000 a month. So for us, we would need about $6,000 to reach that 3-month goal, which we are just shy of that amount. So I basically say we're done with that step. However, we are going to push it, and we're actually going to say 6 months. So we're going to continue to save to reach that 6 months of emergency fund. So for us, we're looking to save $12,000. And the reason we decided to go with the 6 months instead of the 3 is because we've reached that 3 over and over again, and then we spend it and we reach it and we spend it and we reach it. So now we feel, we realistically need more money because we're going to be spending, things are going to come up and we're going to have to dip into it, so we feel more comfortable with that. 3B is to save the down payment for your house if you haven't purchased a house yet. So we did that last year. We put about 5% down on this house, which was about $8,000, and then we kind of started over saving again. So baby step 3 for us is pretty much done, but we are going to extend it out. Baby step 4 now is where you're trying to invest. You want to work up to investing 15% of your income. So that's what we're currently working towards. We're currently investing 8%. The goal is to reach 15% by the end of the year. Like I mentioned, we're still bumping up our emergency fund, so we're putting a minimum of 10% into our emergency fund. Baby step 5 would just start saving for your children's college education or future funds, whatever you want to help them with, whether that be a car or a house or something like that. We haven't officially started this fund yet. And then baby step 6 is where you're going to try to knock out that mortgage as fast as you can. So we are making one extra principal payment towards our mortgage every month right now while we're kind of building up those other 2 things. Then we're going to start cranking it out. The goal for us is to pay off our mortgage in 8 years from the time that we borrowed the money. And then baby step 7 is to just build wealth and give more. So we're super excited. We're kind of on this journey. We're working it. I just want to give you guys a recap of what it was. Some people just jump into the baby steps and they think, okay, I'm only going to pay, I'm working on baby step 2, I'm paying off debt, but they're not doing these budgets. They're not doing a zero-based budget or a cash flow plan. And it's so important that you do it because it's going to help you reach that. And so I hope that little spiel kind of helps you out here. All right, so for the 12th for my husband, his base pay was $740. He gets paid $18.50 per hour. His base pay is 40 hours a week. Anything over 40 hours is overtime, which is $27.75 an hour. They have been working Monday through Sunday. He's had 5 full weeks with not one single day off. And they've had a few, usually they do about 10-hour days. On the weekend, they're doing maybe 8 or 10-hour days. And then they have thrown in a few, you'll see on this check, they actually had a few 12-hour days. So his overtime was $943.50. This is before taxes. The reason I calculate up here what is before taxes is because if I'm trying to plan ahead, that's all I know. And from there, the 401k is taken out before taxes. So our 8% is taken out before taxes. And then the savings that we want to do, that 10%, we want to do 10% of his pay before taxes, not his take-home pay. So this is just something that we're documenting. Myself, I basically made $75 for self-employment. One of my clients traveled, so I made $75 from that. So I pay myself half. If you guys are interested in my self-employment budgets, I just posted one this week. Stay tuned. I'll be sharing those on Monday with you guys. So this, I brought over $37.52 for the 12th. Some of these I have auto calculating. As I learn more about Excel, I'm kind of playing with some things. I know I have a lot of people who really want my template, and I'm sorry I haven't got it out to you faster, but I'm really trying to put something together that I feel is worth you guys actually wanting to purchase. So for the 8% for the 401k, then automatically calculated for me was $134.68. Myself, right now we're doing 15% of my income, and we've decided that this is actually going towards the principal of our mortgage in addition to the amount we've already set up. So $5.63 currently is in a savings account. At the end of the month, I will add whatever that is to the mortgage payment. Federal that came out of that paycheck for my husband was $73.63. Arizona State was $27.88. Medicare was $24.41, and Social Security was $104.38. Now these are red. Normally I would budget some of these checks out ahead of time and I would make it red. I'm kind of stopped doing that just so I can budget these out with you guys so you guys can get a better feel and understanding of how to do these kind of budgets. Otherwise, these are going to be black now because this money is officially gone. It's out of the paycheck or it's in the 401k account and things like that. The emergency fund, we normally would do 10% minimum into this fund. It seems like once you start making money and you start looking good, some problems start arising, right? What is that saying? More money, more problems. So I'll explain that when we get down here. So as we come down for this week, the other thing that comes out of my husband's paycheck right here are the family life insurance, so $5.59, and his long-term disability insurance was $6.06. So we're making these black; those come out automatically, like I mentioned. So here we can see here the home maintenance. We had the air conditioner checked out because it's summer, summer's coming and everything like that. So I ended up purchasing a year-long service agreement, which was about $180, and we had to have the inside coil and the outside coil do like a chemical clean, which ended up costing close to like $500. So we did put this on our Discover credit card, and then these are the 2 paychecks that we're going to cover what was owed. We also had the pest control come because all of the little ants are coming back, and that was about I budgeted $50. I think it ended up being $43. Groceries basically do the rest of the $360, so $180 for that. So orange means that it's money that's still in the bank and we're working it. I'm actually going to make this other one red because this is what's going to come out of the next paycheck, right? But I know that amount needs to go towards that. Personal care, household, we're good. Now we're getting down to the actual bills that have due dates, okay? So my husband's cell phone bill, $35. Our electricity, we're budgeting $70. Water, sewer, trash, we're going to do $72. We're going to do the rest of the car gas, so $50 for that. We're going to do our car insurance, $125, $63. All right, the motorcycle gas, we're going to finish that out, so $30 there. Motorcycle insurance, this is one that we already paid for the whole year. Normally, we were paying about $21 and some change every single month, and I found out that they were charging us a $3 fee for doing that charge every month, which I thought was silly. And the motorcycle insurance for the whole year is only like $220. So we went ahead and paid the $220, and now that saved us the $3 every month. And we're just putting this money now into a savings account for next year's payment. Not only did we save $3 a month by doing that, this $18.91 each month savings account, which is earning 2.2%. Little dollars here and there do add up. Now here's one of the motorcycle maintenance. One of the issues he had was all of a sudden he gets back, he gets home, the front tire is flat, and he's like, something's not right. It's feeling very like rough. So he ends up taking the fork seal off, and one of the fork seals had snapped. Extremely frightening for me because I do not want him to wreck on that motorcycle. That is a huge deal. So he did need to buy 2 new forks for the front. So that's what he did. Again, we used the Discover card, so we'll just go through and we'll make that payment. That way we could earn a little cash back on that purchase. So we are waiting for that part now. So now my husband's back using the car again. All right, so my girls' commission jobs, we're going to finish those out as well. So 16 and 8. I am going to film a video. I had a viewer who was interested in more details about the commission job. So I'm going to make a video. Hopefully I'll film it today for you guys, and it'll be up sometime the rest of the month. But I'm going to go over, how did I determine how much to pay them? What type of jobs do they do? And how does that work? So if you're interested, please stay tuned. All right, and then moving down into our fun category, we're going to finish out our eating out, so 120. Basically, the first week we had a few of these bills we had done, or a few of these expenses we had done half of. So that's what we're kind of doing here. The YMCA, 60. We have the money for all of our bills except for the mortgage at least 2 to 3 weeks before they're due. At least 2 weeks before they're due, right? So this is a good way to keep you ahead of the game. Some people like to have 1 full month of expenses and be 1 full month ahead. I don't find that to be necessary. I'd rather put more money into my savings account and earn that interest, but it's totally what you feel comfortable with. This is something we've never done before. We ended up purchasing a season pass to one of the water parks here. There was a water park here in Arizona. It was called Wet n Wild. Six Flags actually took over the water park, so now it is called Six Flags Hurricane Harbor. And they had a huge deal in April where if you purchased the season pass, it was about 57% off their normal season pass price. So you have the whole summer, basically from April. I think they actually started in March, but basically from mid-March to mid-October. You can go unlimited times. Seriously, just the price of this, because it was so discounted, just the price for this pass is basically what we would spend with one visit to the park. So now we have unlimited visits to the park. In addition, we have unlimited visits to Six Flags Magic Mountain, and there is one in California. It's about maybe a 6 or 8 hour drive from where we're at. I used to go there all the time. Me and my girlfriend, we would go up for the weekend around my birthday. We did it a few years in a row, and we absolutely loved it. And last time we were in California was for Christmas. We went and saw Ricky's brother's family, or Ricky's family over there. And on the way home, I had thought, because we were passing through there, I thought it would be really cool to take the girls to Six Flags. So I was looking online to see and make sure there was attractions that they would be tall enough to do, and I was super excited to take them there. And then I realized that tickets were about $80 per person, and I was like, that is insane. So the fact that we can go there now and we've already paid our thing, like that's huge. And that actually, the amount is actually it was $310.71. So I actually do need to make some changes here to this motorcycle maintenance one. That's part of budgeting. You kind of move things around, right, to see what's coming out of what paycheck. Put $50 aside originally for movies, and I decided that this season pass to the water park would be way more worth our time. I've already taken the girls there once, so I bought, so the season pass, sorry you guys, I'm all over the place. The season pass was $62 per person, so there's 4 of us. So we purchased that. That includes, like I said, unlimited access to the water park and Six Flags Magic Mountain and our parking, I believe, just for the water park. Maybe Six Flags, I don't know. I also ended up buying a dining package, which was basically you get a lunch, a snack, and a dinner, and then unlimited drinks during the time. So I went ahead and I did do that. So total, we purchased it for $360.71. We've already made our money back for the season pass. We have not quite made the money back for the food, right? We'll probably have to eat those meals maybe 3 more times, and then we will have made our money. So we've already I've already gone with the girls once. This weekend, we're actually going to go, all 4 of us are going to go, so we're definitely going to get our money's worth, and then we're going to do Six Flags, you guys, after our cruise. So we have our cruise in May. So on the way to, if you've seen my cruise budget, basically we're driving to Carlsbad. We're spending 1 night in Carlsbad. We're going to take the scenic route up to Long Beach. We're going to go on a 4-night cruise, and then instead of going straight home, we're going to just head straight up to Six Flags, spend the day at Six Flags, just spend 1 night in, maybe a Super 8 or something cheap, and then head home. So we're going to add 1 day onto our trip and go to Six Flags because it's already paid for, and my meal package will work at the Six Flags Magic Mountain as well. So something we've never done before, and this deal is only for April. Otherwise, the season passes, I think, are like $140 a piece. So great deal we got. That's my spiel. So anyways, for the week now, we have $0, meaning we've told everything where to go. So we did not save anything this paycheck, but like I said, we have the season pass. So now that $50 that we would be budgeting every month moving forward to do something with the girls, basically for the summer, we're not really going to be doing that because we have our summer fun already paid for, which is really cool. So behind me here are all of my checking and savings accounts. So usually I go through and I balance those. I am filming this a little later, a little after the fact, so the numbers aren't going to match up right now. So I'm not going to go over those numbers with you on this particular week. Join me next week and we will go ahead and budget out the 19th, and then we will readjust all of our checking. We will balance our checkbooks to see how that goes. Alright guys, thank you so much for joining me for another Paycheck to Paycheck budget with me. I do these every single Friday, so please consider subscribing. Hit the bell notification so you're notified the next time I upload a video. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye!